I imagine Fury side and everything is all wrapped up as it initially was. Is the problem here still regarding Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua's contract?
Well, I can't really comment on Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua, what they're doing. All I can comment on our side is we've done everything we can to make this happen in England. We've tried and tried and tried. Now it's, it looks like it's going to go abroad. So, Tyson Fury just wants to fight. He just wants to fight, wants to get on with it, get into camp, do what we've got to do, and, let the best man win.
For AJ to go to take the fight in America, and then an article, I think within an hour of Eddie speaking out, was published by Mail on Sports saying that AJ has agreed terms to go to America. Just where are we at the minute with this?
No, they said the deal's signed, it's all done, which isn't, I said I did some interviews yesterday, the fight was signed many moons ago, as we know, when it was announced. But the fight is signed to take place in the UK. Obviously, it's multiple people's intention for that fight not to take place in the UK now, which is not what Anthony Joshua agreed to.
Spencer Brown says the growing delay is becoming a real concern, with the Anthony Joshua camp and Eddie Hearn still refusing to approve a move that would shift the blockbuster showdown from the UK to the United States, leaving the entire fight trapped in a tense venue dispute.
We're all ready. We're just waiting for Anthony Joshua to sign. And that's it. We're ready to go.
I take it the second AJ and Eddie Hearn sign, this fight will be announced, and that's kind of that. Could that be any moment now?
Really, that's down to Eddie Hearn, isn't it? I mean, you've heard him. He done a thing on. I haven't watched it all actually, but he done a thing last night explaining his situation, the situation they're in. Bit contradictory because he said you weren't doing it. Then he said we're ready to do it. So I didn't quite get that, but that's down to Eddie. It's his business. But I understand where he's coming from, and we just want to fight now.
Frank Smith provides a different take on the latest Joshua situation, suggesting that important moves may already be happening behind closed doors. His remarks also put Dana White back in the spotlight, creating even more intrigue and uncertainty over how the final deal could ultimately come together.
So it's all a process, all of it, it was agreed that it was in the UK, not the US. It was agreed that TKO, etc., or their affiliates, Dana White wouldn't be involved. So we're not doing anything out of, it's all agreed, it was signed for. That's as much as I can say. We shall see. But Dana knows everything. Dana's the oracle. And Dana did the deal for the fight, but then all of a sudden didn't do the deal for the fight.
Meanwhile, Adam Smith highlights the growing pressure around Joshua's next move, with the venue remaining a major factor in the negotiations. Both sides seem determined to secure their preferred outcome, but with time running short, a crucial decision may have to be made very soon.
Announcement next week. I spoke to Eddie earlier today. He said that he and AJ are holding firm that they want the fight in the UK, that everyone else seems to want it in America, but they want it in the UK, and that time's moving very fast and we have to have a resolution within a week, really. And I spoke to Spencer Brown. He agreed they want the fight in the UK as well, but there are parties that want it in America. But I feel that it's ticking now, the clock, and I think that probably this time next week, something like that, there will be a confirmation, an official announcement, and then maybe, I guess, early September, a press tour or something like that. But I think we're still heading for November, likelihood America over here, but they are fighting firm for Britain, both camps. Both Spencer and Eddie told me that too.
For Eddie Hearn, the main objective is still to stage the blockbuster matchup in Britain, emphasizing how important it is for Joshua to perform in front of his home crowd. But with powerful figures increasingly pushing for the United States, the battle over the fight's final destination is becoming even more intense.
You have to understand the importance of this fight to Anthony, to me, to the British public. And I see some sites like, Eddie, pretending that he's really patriotic and that he wants this fight in Britain. He don't care. He'll go where the money is. Not really, because we have had the opportunity on multiple occasions to walk away from a British fight. I don't want to get the hopes up of people and tell them this, let me just give you one thing straight. Everybody wants this fight in America that's involved with the event, right? Now, I'm not saying Tyson Fury wants the fight in America, but he's agreed to do it in America, right? Turkey Al-Sheikh wants the fight in America. Netflix want the fight in America, right? Madison Square Garden, obviously, want the fight in America. Okay, so everybody is pushing to make that happen.
On the financial front, Tony Bellew believes Joshua and Fury may each have a preferred location, but the ultimate call could belong to the people backing the event. With major money and broadcasting interests at stake, Bellew suggests the venue may ultimately be decided by the business strategy and financial structure driving the fight.
Contract says Croke Park on Tyson's side, and one contract says Wembley. So they've both got different locations. But let's just be totally honest, both of them wanted in the UK, and that's what matters.
But it's not anymore,
no, outside of that,
doesn't matter what they want.
Ultimately, it doesn't matter what they want. It matters what who's paying wants, because guess what? He pays, so he has the right.
I don't think it's just him, Tony, what's paying no more. You might quote me on this, and it might be totally wrong, but I think Netflix has got a big.
They're going to give him an awful lot back. But they're going to help. They're going to help him sustain. They're going to help him take the blow.
So it's a lot of people involved.
Do you think it happens still?
Taking the debate a step further, Tony Bellew questions whether America is truly the best commercial setting for Joshua versus Fury. He believes another location could deliver greater value, while admitting that the financial backer behind the event may ultimately hold the biggest influence over where this massive showdown takes place.
I agree at this point.
It should happen in the UK, but I kick off about the US having the fight purely for the simple reason of American boxing doesn't care about us. American boxing's been dead since Floyd Mayweather walked away. American boxing's dead. No one cares. No one cares in America. No one's even tuning into boxing no more. Who's the big pay-per-view star in America now? It's Canelo. And he's been finished for how long? He's going to Saudi's performing shows. So I just didn't like. Now, as the man who's paying for the thing, which is Turkey Al-Sheikh.
Simon Jordan brings the business side of the proposed fight into sharper focus, suggesting that money, commercial interests, and broadcast plans could heavily influence the venue decision. His analysis points toward Madison Square Garden in New York as a potential destination, adding even more intrigue to where this highly anticipated heavyweight showdown could finally happen.
Structuring of this fight, when you talk about who's funding it, you've got an individual that's funding it, but ostensibly it's got interests in the American business. So why would it be in the UK? You've got Netflix that don't need it to be in the UK, and they've got their own agenda for it. And you might want to look at the mechanics of how the previous fights have been structured and why Anthony Joshua fought Prenga and fought him in Saudi, and where people are domiciled in this day and age, and what the effectivity of certain deals might be. It'll be in Madison Square Garden, and he knows it will be in Madison Square Garden.
He knows it will be in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, he knows it will be in Madison Square Garden. He is.
Well, why is he not saying?
Frank Warren also explains why the venue could be a logical choice for such a blockbuster showdown, pointing to the enormous financial stakes attached to the event. With serious money and commercial interests on the line, he believes the final call will ultimately be made by those controlling the business operations behind the fight.
Yeah, look, the fact of the matter is, if the fight was on at Wembley, where it should be on, that's where we'd all like to see it. It's British fight, all British fight, and we'd like to see it there. But the monies that these guys are being paid, and at the end of the day, it's their decisions. They're the ones getting in the ring and taking the punches. And that's where I'm. It's not been announced officially, but that's where it's looking. It's going to go, and I'm sure when His Excellency is ready to talk, when Turkey's ready to say, that's when it will happen.
Beyond the venue debate, Johnny Nelson views this heavyweight showdown as a major opportunity for both fighters to maximize the value of their careers. He believes the financial rewards could be enough to overcome disagreements surrounding the event, while negotiations may force both sides to compromise. Finding that balance could ultimately decide whether this massive fight moves forward.
No, I don't. I think this is a fight that both fighters financially will benefit from massively. They'll not get paid this money with anybody else, even a fraction of it with anybody else. And you're looking at the both fighters, the longevity of their careers. You can see the end of their career. So why would you not put yourself in a position where you can earn 10 times as much money as what you would normally do, and you've probably got two or three fights left in your career. So I just think both people need to, Eddie and Eddie needs to think, you know what, I'll push it as far as I can to the line, see what I can squeeze out of it as much as I possibly can. Then I've got to bow. I've got to give them what they want, because he could easily say the fight's not happening. Remember, he's making noise about, no, we've said this, we've said we could do this, we could do that, we could do this. You don't say it, you just do it.
There could already be significant movement behind the scenes, with Johnny Nelson suggesting that the long-awaited meeting may have been developing for some time. However, he remains cautious about the growing speculation, stressing that nothing should be taken for granted until the fight is officially confirmed, with the next major announcement potentially just around the corner.
For Eddie to negotiate a few more notes on the back of the agreement. I think they all knew where it was going to go eventually. I do believe from day dot, Eddie's probably known it was going to happen there, but he's putting a fight up. He's putting a public fight up, knowing in this fight he's going to end up outside the UK. But let's just get over that bit. Now that we've got something else to moan about, it's done. So once this is announced and officially by both fighters, then you say, right, we're on. I've not heard anything from Eddie. I've not heard anything from AJ, so I'll still be a bit hesitant to get excited about a fight that should have happened 10 years ago. So if it does happen at Madison Square Garden in November, you know what? Let's return to the scene of the crime. Let's see what happens here and see how it turns out. But these guys...
Wade views Joshua versus Fury as a unique opportunity with massive financial implications for both fighters. His analysis suggests neither side has much reason to walk away, particularly when the heavyweight landscape offers so few matchups with similar appeal. That makes this crucial phase of negotiations even more significant in determining whether the blockbuster fight ultimately becomes reality.
I think they will. If I'm sitting at a percentage, I'm like 95%, 97% sure they're going to sign this thing and get it over the line by next week, because it would be a catastrophic failure for them to do anything else but that. But if they don't by next week, this shit ain't happening. I'm telling you, they're just going to go their separate ways, and that's going to be it. AJ's going to, I don't know, have some more fights at heavyweight, but there is no other fight for either of those guys at heavyweight right now that makes them this amount of money. I'm talking $100 million each type of a fight that Turkey's probably willing to pay them. So I assume it gets done, but man, some of this stuff is, like I said...
Wade now focuses on Dana White's apparent involvement, suggesting that his role could significantly reshape how the ongoing negotiations are understood. His comments indicate that several important pieces of the event may already be coming together, while one major obstacle could still be preventing the deal from moving forward. That possibility adds another layer of tension and uncertainty to the Joshua-Fury matchup, with Dana's involvement hinting that a crucial breakthrough may still be needed.
That essentially alludes to the fact that he's already got the venue deal done. It's over. He's got it done, and they're just waiting, it seems like, on Anthony Joshua to sign. And Dana, it's a good question for Dana to follow up with there, and he says, you'd be happy for it to be in the UK. Dana says, yeah, sure. Knowing that, again, according to Dana, he already has the venue deal done, along with the broadcast, which is, I assume, Netflix. So that's what Eddie's referring to when he says, I should sue Dana White for using my client in a venue deal when they apparently haven't signed.
That uncertainty remains at the heart of Hearn's stance, as he explains that moving the fight to America has brought additional contractual demands that must be addressed. His team wants clear guarantees before approving any major changes, and while negotiations have progressed, no final agreement is in place yet. Hearn's latest comments suggest that despite the ongoing talks, nothing is close to being finalized.
So we've gone back and like that, you know, they're just saying that everybody wants to fight in America. So how can we get it in America? And it's like, well, you know, these are the things, if you're going to change the contract, these are some of the things that we want you to agree to, so we know and we're protected that things aren't going to change again, because we don't like changing contracts and there's no reason for us to do it. So we've been through the process of making it as difficult as we can. I keep hoping that every time I see a phone call from Turki Al-Sheikh or Dr. Rakan, that he says, do you know what? Sod it, we'll leave it. Let's just do it in England. And then we come out looking like heroes. But they're not really interested in a UK fight. I'm fed up of debating it or asking why. This is just the situation that we're in. But at the moment, they're aware of things that need to be done.
Eddie Hearn remains unconvinced about Dana White's involvement, questioning whether his presence would provide any meaningful advantage to Joshua or the wider event. He acknowledges that White could potentially have a role through the undercard, but insists the immediate priority is locking in the venue. At this stage, Hearn sees no obvious need for White to take on a major promotional position.
And since is TK have reached out to me, and Seller and Turkel Sheikh have reached out to me, asking if Dana White can be involved in the fight, right? And I'm like, why? Like, what benefit would it be to Anthony Joshua, me, or my fighters to have Dana White involved in a fight that he has nothing to do with? Not trying to be egotistical. I'm just asking it from a common sense question. Now, if you want to do a Matchroom v Zuffa, 5v5 on the undercard, and it's a great opportunity for our fighters, and I don't know, but at the moment, that's not even up for discussion. Really, I'm more focused on the venue.
Dana White cuts straight through the venue debate by focusing on the bigger question of whether the Joshua Fury showdown will actually happen. He views the matchup as long overdue and believes the remaining negotiations now hold the key to making it a reality, regardless of which location ultimately hosts the blockbuster event.
Tracks and this and that, there's a lot of money, for grabs in this fight. Do you want to fight or do you not want to fight?
But
I don't give a shit one way or the other.
So you'd be happy to go to the UK?
It's up to them.
So you'd be happy to go to the UK?
I'd be happy. Yeah. Listen, I don't give a shit. Do you want to fight or do you not want to fight?
Thank you.
Yeah. The fight should happen 10 years ago. Is it going to happen now?
Bringing the venue debate back into focus, Gareth A. Davies explains that both camps are carefully considering the practical and financial impact of each option. From broadcast requirements to weather conditions and travel for fans, the decision involves far more than simply picking a city, making the final destination increasingly difficult to predict.
Are we closer than we were last week?
I think so. I mean, listen, I know they're in talks. I know they're trying to finalise. I know they're discussing both sides of the pond and what works and what doesn't. Turkey Al-Sheikh listens. The promoters on both sides listen. They know that it'll be best in the UK, and that's what the noise is from the fans. But it will come down eventually to a decision this week based on where the mathematics works, where the timings work best, where it works for venue and Netflix and all those things, where the fans will travel if it's in the US, what the numbers mean if it's in the UK, what the risks are in having it outdoors in November at Wembley, whether they go to Cardiff. They'll be discussing every single avenue. My understanding is they're not quite there yet. They're still going over it all.
Ade Oladipo highlights a major promotional development surrounding the heavyweight showdown, suggesting it could be a strong indication that the fight is edging closer to becoming official. However, with no confirmed date or venue yet, key questions remain unresolved. Still, the growing promotional push is fueling speculation that a major announcement could be just around the corner.
I think it moved forward quite a lot overnight. You would have seen this, the WWE, obviously, which is obviously the biggest when it comes to promotion. They promoed the Netflix promo, so a lot of promos here overnight. No date, no venue, but they promoed that it's coming. And I guess that's now the biggest indicator that it is happening and is done, and now it's just a case of a few other things, as you say, date, venue, need to be ironed out. But for them to run a promo on the WWE, I mean, it doesn't get much bigger than that.
As negotiations continue, Frank Warren leans toward Fury because he believes the matchup favors Fury stylistically. While recognizing Joshua's power and physical strength, Warren questions how effectively those weapons would work against Fury's style and resilience. That clash between Joshua's explosive offense and Fury's ability to withstand pressure could become one of the defining factors if this long-awaited showdown finally happens.
Not for me, as far as Tyson's concerned. I think he'll stop him. I think he'll stop AJ, but I've always felt that because of styles, and I felt the same way when AJ fought Daniel Dubois, and that's how it turned out. I just feel that Tyson has his number, and we'll find out when they step into the ring. And obviously, AJ's a big puncher. tremendous punch on him. But the problem he's got is that, you know, he's got a new trainer and he looks in magnificent condition as always. But the one thing you can't do in boxing is put muscles on chin.
Adam Smith believes the matchup could tilt toward Fury based on their recent performances and the potential venue. He suggests Fury may have the edge, especially if the fight unfolds in America, where Joshua has experienced challenging moments in the past. If that location is selected, the unfamiliar environment could introduce another major psychological factor into this already intriguing heavyweight battle.
We're flip-flopping when we were in Saudi a few weeks ago. I think after Tyson fought Marius Vac, people were slightly maybe favouring AJ in it. And then, of course, AJ had that calamitous first round against Christian Prenga, but he got the job done, so proved he still has that power and the combinations that can either get him out of jail or any time. I think Fury starts favourite. I think if it's in New York as well, and if it is back at Madison Square Garden, where AJ, of course, lost for the first time to Andy Ruiz, psychologically, I think that might favour Tyson, who's trained and fought a lot more in America than Joshua. So I think Fury would be seen as
a bigger question also surrounds both fighters, with Simon Jordan taking a more skeptical look at their current positions. He raises concerns about their recent form and career direction, suggesting those experiences could have a major impact once they step into the ring. Rather than focusing only on physical abilities, Jordan points to another crucial factor that could shape his overall view of this heavyweight showdown.
Because I think they're past their sell-by dates. I think we've seen it. I think the irony of it is Tyson will be in better condition than Anthony Joshua. Not physically, because Anthony Joshua is a wonderful physical specimen, but mentally, I think the fights that he's been in with Makhmudov and the encounter with Wack puts him in a better condition than the one that we saw Anthony Joshua in recently.
Have you decided who you think would win it?
I've always thought that Tyson Fury would win it. I think Anthony Joshua is a far more of a statesman than Tyson Fury will ever be in this life or the next. But notwithstanding it, I've always felt that he has been given massive plaudits for being such a wonderful advocate for British boxing, because he was such a poster boy for the success after the 2012 Olympics. But I think his achievements have been massively amplified.
With this heavyweight blockbuster seemingly closer than ever, the biggest question now is whether Joshua and Eddie Hearn can finally get the deal across the finish line. Could the remaining issues still threaten the matchup, or is an official announcement finally within reach? And if Joshua and Fury do step into the ring, who do you believe has what it takes to come out on top?